Hello, intuitive viewers. How's it going? I hope you're all doing well. I wanted to do a quick, just a follow-up to an interview that I did yesterday. I don't know how this will be from when I'm taping right now. It was yesterday, so I don't know when this will go up. And I don't know when that will go up. But it was on the Jeff Mara podcast, and he has very interesting, eccentric guests on. And I went on to talk about orbs and being an orb whisperer. And by the way, I mentioned in that I am not the only one, and there are many, right? There are even two that I brought to you guys, which are Terry Chapman and Virginia Hummel. So it's something that can be learned, but I did say that. But anyway, and if you haven't checked out Virginia Hummel's books or Terry Chapman and you're interested in orbs, please do, because they're amazing. Terry Chapman has a YouTube channel. Anyway, that being said, I did want to talk about the fact, well, first of all, halfway through the interview, I was like, I mean, I didn't say it out loud, but I thought, sound like a crazy person. How am I here having this discussion? Because I sound like I am nuts. But that ship has sailed anyway. I'm just like, whatever. But that thought did occur to me, because I just thought, if me from like 10 years ago heard me now, I think, what is wrong with this person? But that ship, like I said, that ship has sailed. So anyway, I went on to talk about orbs, and I love talking about that. So I could have talked all day, but I really enjoyed talking about that, and also getting the idea across that this could be a great tool for grief, because there is something about seeing a representation of your loved one in spirit with your own eyes that is life-changing, or can be life-changing. It can at least change you from one place of grief to another, move you forward. So I did want to that was kind of my main focus in a lot of ways, but I did want to explain about them, talk about them, the experience I've had, and then talk about this as a tool for grief. So, as I know, I've sent people their pets and sent people loved ones, and they're just like, there is something that speaks to them that is different than other stuff. So anyway, I did want to get across something that I didn't think that I got across as well. And it wasn't about this. So you know that from the beginning of this channel, I've kind of moved from a predictor, to kind of a reader, and then moved into more of a teaching and mentoring role, which is what I believe was the goal of my guides, but they had to get me from A to Z somehow, some way. And also to teach in a way that people that's kind of down to earth, that people can understand, that people can grasp, that is not going to be completely out there, or to explain it in a way that's like, you have to be born with it. We're all born with it. It's just that we forget. And so that idea that, somehow you have to be special in some way, and that is not the case. You can learn it, so that's part of it. But the other thing is that I have the channel, and I have moved through the evolution kind of the channel that my guides have directed, but it's been all me listening to them. I'm not that smart, but I took different chances because I was listening. I would say there's a type of bravery, I guess, that I have, and a type of creativity that I have, but it's but that's on a different level that I can't explain, because I just kind of listened and went along with like, you should talk about this. This should be brought to the attention of your viewers. This should be brought to the, so I kind of just followed along and went along. And what I wanted to get across was that it's great that you would listen to me, and it's great that you would take on board who I brought to you, or what I told you, or my own experiences, and that you trust me. That's wonderful. And I'm so grateful every day for that. But the point is to get you to have your own experiences. And that is the reason I moved kind of from readings into mentoring, and moved from readings into teaching, because I really felt like that is what this is. Part of what my role is to facilitate your own experiences, because when you have your own experiences, it's undeniable. You go into a different level completely with your spirituality and where you want to go from there. And so I'm grateful that you listen to me drone on and on and on. But the point is for you to have your own experiences, so you don't have to take my word for it or anyone's word for it. You can facilitate and have your own experiences. And so that was something I felt like I just wanted to add on to and get across. I also wanted to give you a couple of little, I thought it would be the way to kind of give you a couple of very short little orb videos that I've kind of been holding on to, because they are so short. And I figured, how am I going to do a whole video about these two videos? But I thought, if you want to see them, I mean, you can go see them now. But one of them, it was very interesting because I was doing a session where I kind of film myself, kind of like the healing session that you saw, where I kind of film myself and the orbs around me. And I wasn't getting a whole lot of orbs. And I thought, that's kind of weird. Usually they know I'm going to film, they'll show up, it's a whole thing. But this felt like it was just kind of weird. And then I heard make energy. And the only thing I needed to do was this. I was just like, is this making energy? What's this doing? It's something, friction, something. And, and then I open my hands and an orb comes out and kind of like drops in front of the camera. It's really neat. It kind of like bounces in front of the camera. It's really cool. But I just thought that was so, it kind of, again, a lot of the things I do are kind of like experiments. They're kind of trying to prove, and show what's going on here and understand it myself, because I don't fully understand everything about orbs. I feel I'm a baby beginner in so many ways. And so I know that I've heard before from them that conditions need to be right. And I think part of it is our own intention, right? So that needs to be right. And also it also has to do with conditions in our atmosphere. For example, I don't ever have the heater on. I don't ever have the fan on. I don't ever have anything that will blow air, because it just makes them harder to move. They can still shoot across. A lot of times if you have the heater on or a fan on, they can still come in, but it will be very quick. It will be lightning quick. And it will come out more like a streak, because they're trying to bust through that movement in the air, because they're not, it's not like throwing a rock. They're not solid enough to kind of hold that space. So I make sure everything's off. And I don't want any interference of like dust and things like that. So I always have everything off. So that is one condition, like I can think of, that is like, it has to be right. But I do also feel like there's something else, whether it's, and maybe some of you scientists out there can tell me about like how weather conditions might affect things. One time I heard, which I have no reference for at all, it was molecular level or something like that, something molecular. So anyway, so part of that is conditions need to be right. So anyway, it's just an interesting video to illustrate that I created a condition for it to be right. And so maybe we can draw something from that. I don't know, but I just thought I would put it out there so you can see it, because I just thought it was so interesting. And the other video that I have for you is the one I talked about with the dowsing rods, where you see an orb kind of shoot across the room and go up into my head or through my head as soon as I pick up the dowsing rods. I think it goes into my head because I don't see it come out, but maybe you guys do. But either way, that is to illustrate that when you pick up a tool, you're getting help. You're not doing it completely under the control of spirit, but you're doing it in conjunction. You're doing it in partnership. And it's to illustrate that, because when it went in me or through me, through my head, I wasn't all of a sudden I'm taking over. I was just me, but I was all of a sudden getting help. I was getting, then they work through you. And so I just thought it's a visual for that, kind of proving that you're working with something, you're working with spirit when you pick up a tool, whether it's the cards or dowsing rods or a pendulum or whatever your tool is, that is connecting with spirit. And so if you feel insecure about using just yourself as the tool, as the way to work, tools our spirit is helping you in much the same way. It's just using a tool. And a lot of times it just makes us more comfortable to use a tool. We're still doing what we're doing, but it's more understandable. It's something physical, which is always more comfortable for us as human beings. But I just thought that was a very, and again, it's very quick, very short, but it's an illustration of we're working with something. It's not just us. And again, that intention is so important, because when you pick up the dowsing rods and you think, I'm just going to have some fun, that's fine. And you'll probably get spirit help, but it might be more kind of looser, because that intention of like, I really need the answer to this, or I really want help with this. When that intention is there, if I really need this, that's a little bit different. And the help might be a little bit different, and the answers might be a little bit different. Also, your intention, check your biases, which is always a thing, to make sure that you're not picking them up to get the answer you want. You're picking them up to really know the truth, right? And in that case, I was picking them up I was just making sure I was getting something right that I was going to share with the channel. So that's what I was doing. So that is a very strong intention, right? I want to get this right for people watching, and I want to make sure that they can go on trusting what I'm saying, because and so I need to know this because it's unclear, or because it's so crazy. I need to make sure this is right. So that's that. So anyway, I hope that you enjoy that interview. Like I said, I don't know why it's coming on, but it's the Jeff Mara, Mara podcast, and it's on YouTube. It's a podcast, but it's on YouTube. And I wore makeup and I wore color. So you guys were very proud of me. I kept that's better for all, trust me. So anyway, I look forward to talking to you guys more. I am going to put out a video about some political stuff. So I will have that up pretty soon. And I hope you enjoy these two little short videos, and talk to you soon. Bye.